turn this air down so y'all can hear me a little bit clear. Okay, because right now I'm in the car. I'm having a little smoke break. Okay, my kids, they in the room. I'm at the hotel. Let me just get right into it, honey. Let me get into it. Let me know.
But they show no fish. Yeah, say you found it, but she's still gonna hold on. They say you found it, but she doesn't want.
All right, basically, the gist of things, I have been on no contact right now from my mother. I've been on no contact with my mother for the last 4 or 5 days. And me, I'm over 30. I've literally spoken to my mother every single day. There is not a day that has not went by that I have not been in communication with her. Even if I'm not in communication, I'm going to send a text, something, anything. But let me just get into the basis of why we are basically going no contact. I've never liked her husband. Before she even married him, I never cared for him. He abused me when I was younger, but in her eyes, she does not view it as abuse. But even though I've never liked him, I've always been cordial. And what I mean by cordial is if I walk in the house or something, I'm going to speak. I'm not going to have a private conversation or, talk to you about anything except basically the weather. I'm not going to go any deeper than that. However, the last 3 weeks I've been in Chicago, and during my time in Chicago, my 2 kids were with my mother. She was having some issues with me being in Chicago in the first place, because the whole reason I was in Chicago is because I left my husband. So I was on no contact with my husband even longer. And then I needed a break. I needed a time to myself to basically get my mental in order to raise these kids on my own if I was going to officially divorce my husband. And although my mother was not on board with me going to Chicago, she supported me in the aspect and told me that she would watch my kids, and in turn she did. And however, a situation resulted in where her husband ended up putting his hands on my daughter the same way he put his hands on me, and it resulted in welts on her leg and her feeling the lowest that she probably ever felt. It was a situation where he basically whipped her, and I don't even whip my own daughter. So for you to think it's okay for you to put your hands on my daughter, it really boils my skin. And due to that situation, and due to the situation where my mother feels as though I should be working because creating content is not a real job, we don't see eye to eye. I've been working since I was about 16 years old. And if I said I'm in my 30s, I'm over 30, that means I've been working for over 15 years. And just this year, 2024, I resigned from the post office to be a stay-at-home mom. However, I got into it with my husband regarding infidelity and narcissistic abuse. I needed a break from him as well. So I left him in California. I was on no contact with him for about a month. I was in Chicago for about 3 weeks. And then I literally just got back to Georgia. When I got back, basically her husband did not want me to return to her place because, I didn't have a place. I left my husband. Everything, I'm basically starting over. So I asked my mom if I could stay with her for 90 days and work on my content. And, if it's not going the way that I prefer it to go, then I'll probably go ahead and get me another job. But for now, this is what I want to do. I have enough in my savings to where I don't have to work immediately, but I know it's something that I have to eventually do to raise my 2 kids if I'm going to be on my own, essentially. But basically, she did not let me not say she. He did not want me to come, stay at my mother's house. And I say it's my mother's house, even though they're married, because it was her loan and money that got the house. And granted, he may be paying the mortgage today or now, but she got you up in there. So in my mind, it's, you know, mostly my mom's place. He felt that was disrespectful for me to basically even speak on finances, so he didn't even want me to stay. Meanwhile, before I got there, they have 2 big dumpsters, and those dumpsters were full of clothes that I had in totes and suitcases that are packed away in her garage. And her husband felt that the moment that I went to Chicago, he wanted to trash everything. So it's just pretty petty, spiteful things going on that I feel like is unnecessary. And as much as I love my mother, and my father died in 2021, so essentially she's the only parent I have, and for her to basically, you know, feel how she feel with her husband, I had no choice but to go no contact and just, you know, worry about my family. We're not texting, we're not calling. My sister stays with her. She just had a baby, so I'm basically in contact with my sister right now. I'm not really talking to my mother, and that it is affecting me in the way that I do want to communicate with her, but I know it's not in my best interest right now because she doesn't have my best interest. I'm the only one that's supposed to have my best interest, and the person that I married. And that's another situation too. What's crazy is for me to be on no contact with my husband, you know, so much shit was being talked about. Your husband ain't even here right now. He ain't doing shit for you. Meanwhile, I left this man. I left this man because of the shit that I was going through with him. But as soon as I was hearing that shit about him, for us to be on no contact, I simply text, come get us. And then he called, where you at? And then he pulled up. We were on no contact. And then I was getting into it with my mother and her husband. And then I decided to break no contact and hit him up to come and get us. Granted, I don't mind going to a shelter. I done been in a shelter before. I could have went to a shelter. I could have got my kids and went to Chicago. There was a lot of options that I could have done. But I decided to call the very person that they felt, you know, some type of way about. And that very person pulled up. And it was wild to me because it's like I expect the unconditional love from my mother. And even though me and my husband is going through shit, he pulled right the fuck up. So right now, I'm just contemplating what state I'm going to go to, where I'm going to live, what's going to transpire. And continue to pursue what I feel about putting shit on blast, putting my business out there, if you will, talking about what's going on in real life and how real life situations are handled. I love my mother, but I cannot be in contact with her because she see me as someone that should just be working a 9-to-5 and retiring and getting a apartment or a home, and that is how life is supposed to go, and that is just not how I feel life is supposed to go. I think it should be experienced, and it shouldn't just be in one place. It should just be full of joy, happiness, experiences, traveling, and that's why we really can't talk. She feel like I should be stagnant. She's not gonna say that. Or she feels like I should work on my content while, you know, working at my 9-to-5. Not understanding that content gonna take about the same amount of time as recording, editing, and doing everything to put your shit online. That's a full-time job too. It's another job too. It's a career as well. And that's exactly why I'm gonna put my time onto this new channel. Maybe it's other individuals that's going through shit with their parents in their 30s that is not rectified, even though you're trying to rectify it. Talk to me in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what's going on in your world too, because I'm just gonna put out here what's going on in my world, okay? Now I'm reconciling with my husband. Now I'm looking for another place. I'm not talking to my mother. No longer at the post office. I don't intend on getting a job within 90 days or anything pertaining to that. I am doing everything that's gonna have me living a happy life and my kids living a happy life. And it's that simple. Going through real life shit and how I'm actually handling it. And for now, you know, on this car smoke session that I'm having, because honey, I'm out here in the car often away from the kids so I can get my gardening session in, because if you know, you know. And then I'm gonna head on in here, do something with the kids. Maybe we go to Chuck E. Cheese or something. So y'all stay tuned to that. It's just a normal day in my life. The Chicago mommy. I mean, I'm not in Chicago right now, but that's home. That's where I'm from. I'll meet y'all at the next place. Alright, we made it to Chuck E. Cheese for the kids. Now I'm about to whoop husband ass real quick in basketball. I'm about to whoop his ass. So y'all stay tuned for that.
Okay, mommy. Wait. Look that wrist, baby. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna my knee up. Lucky. Okay. Let me fit.
Now Danny.
I don't want to miss it.
Can we what? I don't know. Can you? Is it only a birthday thing? I don't know.
Yay, good job.
Let me see. Can you use the card first? Look, he trying to get it. He's like, I ain't got a time for that. We're making moves that fit best for our family. So at the end of the day, stay tuned and you'll see where we end up at. With our children comfortably, we will, as soon as we get approved. We got approved, but not for, you know, the type of RV we were looking for. So it's okay. It's back to the drawing board. You know, no worries. Y'all stay tuned. I'll see y'all next video.